Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. Well, good morning. We're back here on a cold Monday morning here at Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. I've been a little bit behind on my videos here lately. Jan and I actually have bought a house in Northport, Florida, so we've been in the process of moving. Now, we are going to keep Shelburne RV open here, so you guys who have problems and all that here close by. But I am going to be expanding a little bit into the Southwest Florida area as far as repairs go. So we're going to I've got a place down there with a little shop. We're going to do a little bit of just basement air only repairs. So, but that's what we've been doing. We've been busy moving. But I can tell you things here at Shelburne RV are slow. It has gone slow again. I mean, it is like, I think we went seven business days without any campers coming in, and you know, right there by Thanksgiving, and you know, we've had some pretty terrible weather here. But it definitely is off. It's scary. I mean, it's slow. It's bad slow. So the boys are doing okay. I mean, we got some work and we got some bigger jobs, but it's definitely concerning. I don't know. It's quite interesting. So we'll see. So there you go. The boys have a few things in here we're working on. We'll go in here and look at those here in just a second. But yeah, that's kind of the news. We're going to expand a little bit into Florida, and again, it's just going to be me, and mostly just basement airs. I got a lot of phone calls from Florida. So I was actually down there last week and looked at a 6536 on a Prevost bus while I was down there, down in LaBelle, Florida. So go see what I can do to help that gentleman. So yeah, there you go. So we're gonna get rolling, and I'll take you through and show you a few things we got going on. Freedom Express that came in right here. The boys had done some troubleshooting on it a few weeks ago and determined that it had some really bad backing plates, and you can see how well worn that magnet is. But it had some brake issues going on. This is actually a little bit of a toy hauler, so they've used it quite a bit, and its backing plates had some pretty bad problems. So they just got down changing those. But look at that. Might need to check the air, and that thing looks a little on the low side. But looks like they've just finished up with that, drums and backing plates. But getting ready to test this one out and see where we're at with it. So back, you saw this Precision Temp was in here because it was not operating, and so we were going through the troubleshooting to figure out where we were at with it. And one of the problems that the boys had ran into was we had a problem with the ignition board. Put a new ignition board on it. Still no change. I mean, we got a little bit of change. It was trying to spark, but there were still some other issues. When they were on the phone with Precision Temp determined that the temp sensors needed to be updated. So the boys updated the temp sense on this, and now we've got other problems. All right, so he went in there, changed all those parts out, and now he has ran this. There's the pre-purge that you have to do because we had the tank open to change one of those temp sensors, and because we had some air in the line and some of that stuff. So Precision Temp says that pre-purge cycle could take 30 minutes. And then if you don't hear the gurgling noise that's going on, you're good. If you do, you got to do another 30 minutes. So yeah, a little bit involved trying to get the air out of the system, but yeah, once I do that, everything seems to be running correctly. You can see it was very nice of Monaco. You know, if they'd have turned that unit sideways where it was a little easier to get to, yeah, this might have been a little more friendly to work on. But as you can see, that one is not the easiest one to get to, and just a little bit buried up in there. So there you go. Well, about a year ago, we put a roof on this big Montana, and this customer took off and went to Minnesota for the summer. He had us add a soft start to the air conditioner, and so he called me a couple months after he was gone and was telling me that the fan comes on, but nothing else happens. And that is a heat pump, so no electric heat and no air conditioner. So we went in here and started checking, and the thermostat was sending the 12-volt signal up to the box, and then the box was sending the 120 power over to from there up to the unit. So Steven right there went up there and pulled the cover off, and we started doing some checking and determined that the soft start was bad. Now we pulled all the wires off, put them back to the normal position, ran the unit and verified everything was good, and then went online, the soft start, and pulled the wiring diagram one more time and wired it back up just to make sure that we had it wired right, and tested it, and it is a bad soft start. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I like or dislike the soft starts, but that's literally number 4 that I've had problems with in the last like 90 days, where the soft start was a problem and was hindering the unit from running. So I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm just not sure what's going on with that, because I'm literally having some problems with them. So anyway, they're going to give the customer a call on that one and give him the heads up on it. But yeah, it was wired correctly, but there's a problem with the soft start. So he's got it disabled at the moment, so that way the customer can at least use it and go do what he needs to do with it.
So we did a quote on this little Navi here to replace a few panels. We knew we had a little bit of rot in the bows over on the sides. So I just pulled down the panel after getting most of the bed platform out. Of course, the insulation wanted to come down. And guess what else wanted to come down? One of the front main supports that goes across completely rotted loose from the side, and looks like a little bit of mushroom growth somewhere over in there, and somebody's packed in a little styrofoam to try to keep the water out. Well, we'll have an update once I get the rest of this panel out.
All right, so in last week's video, you saw where we had a little Class C that came in that got approved through the insurance company to do a roof, and so we tore into the roof, and halfway through that process, the insurance company called back and said, "Oh no, stop what you're doing, we want to total that unit out." Which obviously is a problem, because there's some customer pay stuff that we had actually done in there as far as generator and some other work that we had done that was going to be a customer pay. Of course, customer don't want to pay his part if the unit's getting totaled out. So Jen had a nice long conversation with the insurance company, and so they finally agreed that, okay, we're get together all your time and submit it to us, and let's look at all that and see what we can do. And so yeah, so they ended up, Jen and the insurance company ended up finding a point where the insurance company did end up paying us for all of our time up to that point, and actually paid for the customer pay portion of that, since they stopped it midstream of being worked on. So yeah, so Coparts came up here last week and hauled that unit off to the auction with no roof. It is a nice camper, just ain't got no roof on it. So I don't know, you know, sits out there at the auction house and gets rained on. You know, I don't know why they do what they do sometimes, but yeah, a little update on that one, because I had a bunch of you guys asking last week about where we were at on that. So there you go. Got the insurance company to settle with us. Wasn't what I wanted, but you know, we got our time. So there you go.
All right, so another quick video here of the Navi that we just pulled that panel out of. We'll start over here on the passenger side. Now, we knew we would have a little bit of rot on the bows. I didn't quite count the cross members to be as rotted. Let's go ahead and pull this, what's left of the wood out. And this is part of the structure of the front of this camper. Then we have our cross beams here going across. This one, of course, I showed you was still attached to the actual panel coming out because someone has done a little bit of reseal work, or so they thought, on their camper here. They put a styrofoam barrier right there and then all the way down to try to keep the water out. Well, as you see, the blackest, wettest spot is right against the waterproof styrofoam that they put in there, which held the moisture in. But you can see, again, this is the structure that goes down the front of this camper to support this. So aside from just swapping out a few panels, we're gonna do a little structural rehab here and try to get this thing back in shape. Have an update on it as soon as I can. There's where we're at so far on it. And so here is just a quick update on where we're at with this Navi here. So now keep in mind, I pulled all this out by hand so far and got all the structure down to there on that side. That's what it came out like. And then got the insulation out of the way. Over here we've got this side, and someone had tried to repair this side before with some really long screws going through there trying to hold on to what was left of a structure. This is one of the main supports. As you can see, we're not really connected on the sides anymore. Apologize for the quality of the video. My phone is acting up a little bit today.
So here's the basement air out of this Prevost bus. Now, again, keep in mind that this was what was originally in the Prevost bus. Top return, top discharge. Obviously, this unit's not made anymore. So somebody came in here and tried to put a replacement unit in here. But again, they turned the fan up. But again, look at this. It's like an inch and a half. Now, again, this coil is in here straight up and down. So again, the bottom 3 inches are not getting enough airflow, and it's causing a problem. Now, keep in mind, again, this is how we resolve these issues. That coil's got to be modified over. It's got to have more than an inch and a half worth of ductwork put behind it to keep it from freezing up. So what happens is there is not enough airflow in return coming back in here. And so this is causing a freeze up. The bottom 3 inches of this coil does not get enough airflow. And so this thing starts tripping the high pressure limit switch on compressor 2 because there's not enough airflow behind it. This is not the right way to do this. I've seen this more and more, and somebody got cheap in how they did this. Now, we have got the correct ductwork built and ready for this, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do this the right way with residential ductwork, so this thing will work flawlessly in the future. This has got the basement air out of this side, and so we're going to talk about the ductwork now. There's part of the return that we have residential. Let's go inside and let's look at the that's the discharge. Let's go inside and look at the return. And here's the return ductwork we had made. Now, obviously that's going to go into the coach, get mounted in there. This goes up against the floor. There's the place for the filter. But yeah, that'll sit up right against the back of this, and then you can slide the unit in and out. We've talked about this in other videos, but this is the correct way to do this because now we've got plenty of air return versus what come out of there. So this is what come out of this thing versus what we built. You can see the way we're doing this is the more correct way because now we've got 100% draw and there's more room behind there to keep that coil from freezing up. So we've got the ductwork in here on the Prevost, and you can see now this will secure down. The unit will slide right in, and the only thing that'll have to be taped will be that ductwork right there because the rest of this is going to tie in up here. So this makes this very simple. The filter then will be right there, but this is all residential. It's all insulated correctly. So this is the right way to do this. Project here in the shop is this east to west that came in, and of course BAL cable slide. And this is what we found when we got down here. But you can see that bracket is supposed to be mounted like that. And that bracket is not, and it looks like it's ripped all the screws out and all that. So of course, just trying to figure out what's going on and how we can resolve this, because obviously that metal's damaged now. Well, all right, that's going to finish us up here at Shelburne RV. The boys actually headed out a little early today because of how slow it is. So they have gone to the house. So I'm just going out here and make sure all the lights are turned off and everything is getting all locked up here. But thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments for last week. And yeah, it's been a little slow on the videos, but yeah, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to have got a lot going on. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hey, we'll see you next week. Take care.